Hello and welcome to our live reaction. Kentucky goes to Knoxville. How do you win a food fight? You win it with Jaxson Robinson with the pulled hamstring and Amari Williams handling the ball, going to Knoxville. Here's how else you win a food fight. The Southeastern 16 kiss of death. It is alive and well. We are sorry, Tennessee, but boy, Kentucky, what a performance. For whatever reason, Thompson Bowling Arena brings out the best in the Cats. And, would have never drawn it up like this in a million years, guys.
Blake, you're the one that completed this kiss of death.
You know, sometimes when it comes to having the power of the Southeastern 16 kiss of death, it's a lot to carry in each of these prediction videos we do. But sometimes, you just gotta go with your gut. So, just like I told Max earlier today, and Max has been pushing this, but I told him, I said, Max, here's what we have to do, okay? If you're anyone out there right now and you see the way the Southeastern 16 kiss of death works, your number one priority is to bet money line on the team that is the underdog, and if we pick against them, you're set. So it worked. Mother Carol, you're welcome. This is just what it does sometimes. It gets somebody every single game slate, but holy cow. Kentucky goes into Knoxville and wins. I said, without question, I thought that Tennessee, there's no way I was picking against Tennessee at home all season. And what do you know? Tennessee loses at home to Kentucky after Tennessee comes off a good performance and almost beats number 1 Auburn on the road. Guess what that's called? That's called SEC basketball in 24-25. Get fired up, everybody. Maybe not Tennessee right now, but everybody get fired up because this is what happens. We said going into SEC play, good teams were going to lose games, right? Tennessee's a good team, but it's just how many times have we seen the Cats come into these prime games in big spots, and they rise to the occasion. And somebody said earlier in the chat, there's a lot of chats coming in, but somebody said earlier, you know what was different about this? Kentucky came out and set the tone right from the beginning of the game. Think about how many times we've said that about Tennessee in the past. They're the ones who set the tone. They kind of set the tone against Auburn, didn't they? And so Kentucky came out, set the tone, the physicality. They weren't bothered by it, but they didn't let it affect what they tried to do. And to go in there and win a game like that, my goodness.
Yeah, I think Tennessee led 33-30 near the end of the first half and may have led at half. That's like the only time Tennessee had a little run, got ahead, and then Kentucky came out second half, took the lead back, and almost gave it a plate with the flurry of turnovers and a spell in which Kentucky could not get an offensive rebound off a three-pointer to save its life. Tennessee just kept shooting threes over and over and over. And either after about 4 tries or someone hitting one, the ball went over to Kentucky. But, I mean, my goodness, the point guard play. I mean, this will be probably forever known as the Amari Williams game, first of all. Second of all, Jaxson Robinson playing through an injury. Just amazing what this team did tonight.
What did Jimmy Dykes say there late in the broadcast? Was it the second or third most three-point attempts in Tennessee program history? 45? I mean, wild.
Think about that.
That is insane. How about our guy Ansley? Our guy Ansley?
Too.
I'll tell you what, Koby Brea can shoot it. Jaxson Robinson can shoot it. There's just something about Ansley Almonor. Every time the ball leaves this guy's hands, I'm shocked if it's not ripping the net. Shocked. I think every single shot this guy shoots is going in. Love him. And if you followed us in the offseason when we were doing our breakdowns, you know how much we loved Ansley and how much of a hard worker he is. Paying off for the FDU transfer. Another thing, Blake, you nailed it this morning. You said, I think Amari Williams has got to have a big game.
Had to.
Might have had his biggest. Double-double, 15 boards, 13 of them defensive. You want an offensive rebound? Yeah. They did get 19 of them, but that was off of a million missed long threes, long rebounds, and stuff like that. I thought Amari Williams was fantastic. What did we say this morning? Felt like everyone was saying, "Why you don't even got to play the game? It's
Bet
already
the bad
over."
news. Bet the bad news.
You said it, Blake.
I'm telling you, and trust me, I did. So I bet Kentucky money line. I'm not afraid to admit it. Like the emotional hedge. Like we do this sometimes, and it's like when the Southeastern 16 kiss of death pops up, you're thinking, all right, let's hedge our bets here on this a little bit. But by the way, we did set a super chat goal. I think it's the first time we've ever done that. 10 super chats tonight. If you give me, not me, if you give Chris, remember, he's the one who takes all the super chat money.
Yeah,
if you give Chris Lee 10 super chats tonight, more ad reads. How about that? What an absolute incentive you're going to get. 10 super chats. That's all we need. We created the goal. We got to get 10 in an hour. It's like a telethon here. But that's what we're going for. So, Amari Williams, I'm glad you brought it up because – yes, and this was a full team effort here. Let's not kid ourselves from Kentucky, but I just thought that he was someone in this game, as we said, given the fact that Tennessee, is going to be physical, they're going to bump you around. Milicic was certainly doing that in this game. Akpara was too. He didn't have he put up 15 points or anything, but guys still in there impacting shots on the defensive end. But yeah, I was so impressed, not just with Amari Williams, but we talked about Almonor, and I'm telling you, Otega Oweh. He's maybe going to go down as like a top 5 dog in the history of the Southeastern 16 SEC basketball rankings because the guy is he's a gamer. He goes out there. We talked about Tahad Pettiford, gamer. This guy just goes out there and he relishes the opportunity to be in these kind of big moments. And I think back, Max, to win the summer. That was a guy we did not talk about a lot this summer.
We did not.
Shame on us. We did not talk about him a lot at all this summer because we didn't know exactly. Yeah, we didn't know what his role was going to be on this team. We're thinking, okay, you kind of look at the way this projection is going to be starting lineup-wise. We knew Butler. It was either going to be Brea or who are we debating? Creasa at the 2. And we're thinking, all right, Robinson at the 3, Carr at the 4, Williams at the 5. Seemed pretty settled. And we're like, all right, well, these guys off the bench, they'll play their minutes. But, dude, Oweh has been tremendous. Yeah.
I was listening the other day, and I was like, who is their leading scorer? Because they're so balanced. And I was like, it's Oweh? I was shocked because, they've had other guys that had big scoring games, but it's his consistency. He scored double digits every game this year and never more than 24. I mean, never more than 21, excuse me. I mean, it's like clockwork with this guy every game. But the box score that's catching my eye tonight, though, guys, Amari Williams, 10 points, 3 of 5 from the floor, 15 boards, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 24 minutes plus 20 in the box.
Yeah. Just quickly, I'm going to pull this back up real quick.
Yeah.
So from G Cox here, $10 super chat. I love Oweh, but the last 4 games he's been our high scorer. We've lost 80% of our games when he's been the high scorer. How crazy of a stat is that, right? Nuts, but Mr. Consistency, as Chris said. I certainly thought that was interesting. Just real quickly, we're going to run through the super chats, Max, then we'll continue on here. Again, we're getting close to our goal already. You guys are chipping in. More ad reads, they're coming. $5 super chat.
You need an award for Zach.
Zach did say he had this feeling. Donovan did too. I'm going to give Donovan credit. Yep. This morning, Donovan called it. He said this is a game Kentucky wins 80-78. He wasn't that far off. He said the same thing about everybody's pushing Tennessee. Got up to 11.5, I think, in Tennessee's favor in the spread. Wow. Yep, this is how it goes. Jack, son of Jack, thanking me.
I love it. Love it.
It's so different, isn't it? Sometimes I get blamed. Sometimes I get we might have to transfer that power to one of you guys at some point. But Sam, $1.99 super chat. He wants Will Wade or Bucky McMillan in Knoxville immediately. He wants an offensive wizard heading to Thompson Bowling Arena. I get it, Sam. We'll talk about the Tennessee side of this shortly.
I have a question there.
We'll talk about it. John C. with a $5 super chat. $5 for a 5-point win. Boy, I'd like to see Kentucky start beating people by 100. Kentucky always wins in Rupp Arena South. Hey, we said that this morning, right?
How many in a row?
That's 3 in a row now, right? Is it 3 or is it more? I don't have the unofficial stat, but
it's 3.
We talked about it. That was one of the reasons, maybe, if you're a little hesitant here. They've had success in that building. And then $5 from Nicholas, of course, jumping in with the Cats. So there you go.
Nice.
Wow.
Jumping back in, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Tennessee side just a little bit here. Because when you're looking at the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game, and it's just the loudest I've ever heard the rim off the TV, just clank, clank, clank. You're just thinking, can we just get something to the rim? Please. Akpar's got 4 points. He's made 2 baskets. Milicic has 6 baskets, 4 of them are threes. Can we just get something to the rim? Clank.
Why did they go away from Milicic? I mean, that was getting him the ball and letting him drive was the best offense they had all night. And the last 5-6 minutes, it was just a parade of 3-point misses.
I was screaming, get inside. Nope. 5 threes in one possession.
Like, what? I mean, seriously, like, I'm going to go back and watch this game because I know it all kind of runs together sometimes, but as you're watching it, you're just thinking on the first watch, right? What's going on here? Like, they're playing the team. Think about all the things we picked on Kentucky for defensively, and the numbers told us that, right? I mean, Kentucky was significantly, coming into this game, the worst defense in the SEC through this many conference games. Like, Max, we brought up how wide the margin was between Kentucky, who was 16, and whoever was 15. And then, like, there was a very small gap between, like, 7 and 15. And so, like, the numbers just were not, adding up. But, again, like, and we kind of went back and forth on this, right? We were all of a sudden higher again on Tennessee this week when we were doing power rankings and all that because we're like, okay, look at what they did last week, right?
Yeah.
Come on. They go to Auburn, beat Mississippi State. That's a good week for Tennessee. But, it's the same story at times where it's like, if they're not perfect defensively, which, again, Kentucky, as we said, give them credit because they came out, they got the shots they wanted, they were able to adjust to the physicality. I mean, there were some times there where it's not always going to be pretty, but, like, it's just against Tennessee, if you can just find a way to get open shots, and Kentucky got more open shots than maybe you thought they would in a game like this, just based on, again, the way that Tennessee plays defense. It's just the offensive stuff, like, and we joke about this stuff, Sam, but he's right. I mean, it's like, it's got to be infuriating when you kind of find yourself in these kind of games where, like, matchup-wise, what else could have gone in Tennessee's favor entering this game, right? You think about it. Butler doesn't play. And we talked about, like, we didn't know if Carr was going to play. Of course, he was out there a little bit, but,
he didn't play.
He didn't play, right? And so Kreese is still out. And your Tennessee coming off a performance where you almost beat the number 1 team in the nation on the road. Now, you could say, well, possible hangover effect. Nah, not when you're coming in and playing Kentucky, right? And so you kind of had everything working in your favor, and it felt like, sure, towards the end there it got close. Tennessee was able to cut it a few times. But, like, the confidence level in anyone other than Kentucky winning that game as it went along got pretty low because I was like, I think Kentucky is kind of, playing as a team right now who has way more confidence, and they're just, in some of these possessions, they're making more plays, and especially on the offensive end. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, how many of us, if we would have said Tennessee's going to shoot 45 threes in this game, we wouldn't have believed it. Like, are you kidding me? There's no chance. So, wow. Anyways.
I mean, I'm looking at this guy. Kentucky is 13th in three-point defense in the country. They shot 45 threes against that. I mean, how often does Tennessee lose the game being +8 in turnovers and +3 in rebounds in its house? That's what happened. It boiled down to that one stat.
My goodness.
Well, we were on here in the morning and we were saying, hey, what's this lineup going to be? Who's going to be on the floor barring, foul trouble and things taking a turn? If all, just goes, as smooth as it could, who's going to be on the floor? Jaxson Robinson, Oweh, Brea, Almonor, Williams / Garrison. I'll take that against anyone. That's a solid lineup. We were questioning about the turnovers and obviously what gets presented from not having Lamont Butler, but we were, I give Blake some credit here. 11-point spread, 10-point spread, 11-point spread. We were talking about it like it was going to be a one-possession game.
Yeah. It just did not. It didn't equate. Like we've seen this too many times where you have these kind of games where you just try to completely count out another top 12, 15 team, whatever Kentucky's ranked right now. We don't keep up with the AP poll, but I'll tell you what we do keep up with. Mark's $5 super chat here. Any chance Kentucky gets higher than 4th on the power rankings now? Don't make me come over there, Mark says. So they did drop this week, Mark. There's no question about that. They dropped. But a win like this gets you moving back in the right direction. Now, you got to take care of business on Saturday, which brings me to this segue. Justin has become a member of the It Just Means More tier at Southeastern 16. And you know why that's important? Because on Saturday, our Saturday watch-along this week, Kentucky versus Arkansas. That is our watch-along game on Saturday night. Little did we know how much more exciting this thing could get, but we are going to be doing it watch-along live for our members here at Southeastern 16. Hit that join button if it just means more to you, and you want to watch John Calipari's return to Lexington on Saturday night with us here at Southeastern 16. Incredible stuff. We appreciate Justin hopping in. So, by the way, FJB, $4.99 Super Chat. He just wants the ad read. I think we're close to the Super Chat goal. We may have already met it. I'll have to look that up. I think we're close to 10. But don't worry. You're getting multiple ad reads tonight, folks. And the night is young. We're 16 minutes into this. We got a long way to go. All right. Something else here. We got to keep just trying to get these Super Chats through here. Joe Mother, $1.99 Super Chat. Bribe to Kiss of Death, Arkansas for the funsies here. All right. Well, we'll see what we can do. All right.
Mother Carol had a Super Chat.
Yeah, what else we got here? Sorry. Go ahead, Max. Okay, $20 Super Chat from Mother Carol. Serious question, Max. How many times has Blake picked Kentucky and we lost? I believe it is 3. Also, just a reminder that none of you picked Auburn to win the SEC in the preseason. Mother Carol keeps receipts.
That is also true.
She keeps receipts here at Southeastern 16. Might have to make her the official, I don't know. We're going to give her an official title here soon.
Yes,
but
yes.
She's the bookkeeper of Southeastern 16. So it's true, Mother Carol. It's true.
I don't know how many times exactly, but I do know that now Kentucky is 4-0 when they have gone into the game as the betting underdog. And I believe we've gave them the kiss of death in all 4 of those.
Incredible.
Just real quick, I believe that's what? That's Duke, Zags, Florida. No, I don't know about Florida. Duke, Zags, Tennessee, and someone else. Maybe Mississippi
State.
Yeah, so it's those 4. They were 4 underdogs every time, outright winners. Ridiculous.
Just a quick here on Josh. I just saw this in the chat. Kentucky has the most quad 1 wins in the country. No, Auburn still holds that mantle considerably. But I will tell you that Auburn has 11, and after this game, Kentucky is going to have now 7. So they will be 3rd by themselves because I don't think A&M is tied with them. And A&M's playing right now, and even if they beat Oklahoma, I don't think that's a quad 1 win. So Kentucky will be 3rd. Auburn has 11. Oregon still has 8. Kentucky's going to move to 7 after this one. Iowa State has 6 with A&M and Kentucky, but the Cats are going to move up 1. So, yeah, go to 7 and 5 in quad 1 games now for the Cats. Have not played a single quad 2 game. 2-0 in quad 3, 6-0 in quad 4. So, yep, 7 wins.
How about third quarter Cats again? It's almost undefeated. The third quarter Cats.
Yep.
They won the third quarter again tonight.
Nuts.
What did Lenardi have them when he just released his?
He had him as a 3 today.
Bracket Matrix had him as the last 3. I was looking at that, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that would move them up to a 2 tomorrow, but it might.
Gets them a lot closer, if nothing. Man.
Yeah. What else?
Wins. Before we do wrap up with this game, because it's just we have to.
We're never going to wrap up with this game tonight, Max.
We're never going to wrap up.
We're be talking for another 30 minutes about this game.
We have to highlight the freshman for Kentucky, stepping in.
Yeah, how about
when
that?
When their time was called, playing with toughness. How about that one that had to be like 30-foot-3 from Noah? That was ridiculous. But I liked Chandler's toughness. The guys, everyone stepped up. Everyone stepped up when they needed them to. I wanted to highlight the freshmen.
Harlan County's own.
All caps. Let them know.
All caps. Love it. Chris, what else you got?
Oh, let's see if anything stands out from the box score here. Again, we've talked a lot about Williams. He was the player of the night. Jaxson Robinson doing what he did gives you a plus 12 rating in 34 minutes, 17 points, 4 boards, just 1 assist, but handled the ball pretty well. Turned it over a couple of times. I mean, really, I thought Kentucky's ball handling was going to be problematic, and it really wasn't until about the last 5 minutes. They had a little string of turnovers. I thought, okay, here we go. This is where it's going to kind of bite them, but they held on. They hit their free throws. That was another big thing. And I think Jaxson Robinson playing through pain to do that, very unsung hero for Kentucky tonight.
How about this? So I put out on my Twitter today, there are 15. I don't know what the number's at now after the 2 games that were played, but entering today, there were 12 players in the SEC that had hit at least 15 threes. Only 12. And I ranked them by percentage. Coming into today, Aiden Holloway was the first in the SEC with at least 15 makes. So at least I wanted a little bit of volume. I just picked 15, random number. And he was at 51.6%. Well, the SEC has a new leader. Mr. Ansley Almonor is 15 of 28 for 53.6% in SEC play. The leading 3-point shooter in the SEC right now. Ansley Almonor.
Wow. How about that, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Just wild.
Ridiculous. Number 1 shooter in the conference right now.
He had 83 threes at Fairleigh Dickinson last year. I did not realize he had that kind of volume.
Hit some big shots.
He had a lot the year before, too.
Yeah. That is something, though. What a stat. Well, I mean, again, and we talk about, again, important games. Man, Tennessee's 4-4 in the league now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're 4-4 in the conference.
Yeah. Wow.
How about that? And they play Florida on Saturday in Knoxville. So, and then they play Missouri next Wednesday. And then they got Kentucky on the road the following Tuesday. So,
wow.
Yeah, like we talked about this title race, and this is what we meant by that, right? If you're looking at Auburn and you're looking up there trying to find their losses and you're trying to find other teams that are going to kind of stay in that race, I mean, Tennessee's 4 games back in terms of like the win-loss, but they also lost the tiebreaker head-to-head. So, I mean, that's nuts,
Remember
isn't it?
what happens after that, Blake. They get 2 more home games and they go on the road for 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, these are the kind of huge games we talk about, and that why we said all season you got to win your home games because, I mean, that's a significant one. Because now Kentucky, in the way you look at it here, they still won on the road to Tennessee. That makes up for the home loss to Alabama, right? So those equal out. Now you've got your one you stole on the road. Now you get to come back home and play just a not-so-great Arkansas team right now. And Kentucky gets 3 of their next 4 at home, with Tennessee included in there, and South Carolina as well. They go on the road to Ole Miss. It's not going to be an easy game. But, yeah. So, and remember, like, Kentucky still gets Tennessee at home. They still get Auburn at home this year. Got to go to Alabama. That obviously will be difficult. But I like the way this thing may be shaking up for the Cats here after a win like that. But, hey, it's this league. We don't start counting wins five games down the road. Not yet, because we see how this league goes. Don't do that. Don't chalk up any wins right now. This league is just something right now. So, yeah. Anyways.
Skylar asks a good question here, if I can find it right here. Does this knock Tennessee's defense off that number 1 efficiency line? The answer is yes. They just got knocked back from 1 to
Houston?
3rd.
Houston
and
right?
Duke. Houston and Duke are 1-2, and now Tennessee is 3.
Come on. Get them out of there. Come on.
They play nobody.
Come on. All right. All right, we got a couple super chats we got to catch up on. By the way, we did hit our 10 out of 10 goal. That means the first ad read is coming right now as soon as we get through these. All right. We may have missed some of these, too. I apologize. Curtis throwing jabs here. $4.99 on the super chat. Rick Barnes going to be able to build a nice house with all those bricks. Go Cats. It's a super chat. We allow that.
Yep.
Talk your trash. Keep it clean. Quinn, $9.99, says we zapped some energy out of Tennessee in the game Saturday. I mean, you never know, again, how that kind of factors into it. Tennessee got off to a slow start, but, you wouldn't expect a look-ahead game going from Auburn to Kentucky, or you're kind of that hangover effect. But again, Kentucky came out as the aggressor, and I thought that was the difference here. Poverty, Tennessee, $1.99 on the super chat here. You guys, my goodness. Man. He came with more, too. He added another $9.99.
Oh, my gosh.
Getting
the jabs in.
Tells him to keep clinging to the 90s. My goodness. Meanwhile, I'll tell you who keeps clinging to the 90s here. Quinn's dropped more than 90-something dollars times about 15 here on Super Chats. $49.99 with Quinn. Make it rain on Southeastern 16. Like at the strip club.
Censored.
Quinn said it, not me. He said it, not me. We don't do that here. This is a place of business. All right. Are you ready for the first ad read of the night?
I don't know if I am.
Who's ready for the first ad read of the night? Let's see. Well, get a little energy here. Chris, that was not energetic at all. That was just holding your hand up. Get a little energy here, folks. Let's get some energy going in the chat.
We do. They're ready.
Are you ready? All right. There's multiple to come tonight. But, folks, we've been teasing it. We got multiple new sponsors coming here at Southeastern 16. Multiple new sponsors on the way. So that means multiple new ad reads. Bill, as always, the only reason he's here is for these. And let's go ahead and get you to the first one because March Madness is almost here. It's January Madness in the SEC right now. And there's nothing I love more than kicking somebody's tail in a bracket challenge. Each year, usually, said tail, Max Barr, Chris Lee, many others, when it comes to these bracket challenges, And so, we have found a great place, a tremendous place, an all-time place for you. Yeah, I mean, there are other adjectives, not adverbs. This isn't grammar class here. Adjectives we could use to describe this place. But instead, we'll do it in one way and one way only. By giving you their name, because that's always important when you're doing sponsorships. You should probably give the company a name. Bracket bids. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is sharp.
Look at that. It looks great on the screen, and as soon as Max gets on it, we're going to have it right there on the bottom right of the screen, too, for you guys. It's going to look great. True. Bracket bids. Oh, my. What a tremendous product.
Wow.
Put it back up there.
That's a nice
That is
logo.
Pretty. Leave it up the entire show because I think it looks that great. It looks great.
Who did that?
Bracket bids.
That logo?
I'll tell you who came up with it. A genius. That's who came up with it. Because bracket bids is going to allow you to not just fill out a bracket in March, okay? You're going to get to take your college hoops experience to the next level with bracket bids, of course. You can enter into the free Pick'em contest or start your own auction draft league with friends, family, or coworkers. And you better believe we're going to start our own auction draft league. And if you think our picks suck, wait till you see our picks in the auction draft league. They're going to be even worse because everyone starts with the same bidding dollars, okay? It's up to you to outwit and outbid your league mates to secure the teams you think will go the distance. Who's going to go the distance? Pick any SEC team. They'll get there. Don't worry. Choose from multiple scoring models, including upset bonuses. Ooh, a little upset bonus here, huh? Telling me to pick some upsets to reward the bold picks. You can track your teams with live in-game scoring, watch the standings shift in real time. You can do it all. And the further your teams advance, the higher you climb the standings. That's how it works at Bracket Bids if you want to get in on the action. Use the promo code SE16. That's SE16.
Nice.
I guess I said it the first time. I was spelling it out the first time. I didn't have to do it again, but I'm going to do it again. SE16 for for 40% off. 40%. Not 5, not 10, not 30, not 39. 40%. You can download the Bracket Bids app today, or you can visit them at bracketbids.com. Oh, I am fired up. I'm ready. Let's start the tournament now.
Let's go.
Start it now.
Let's go.
All right. Sanders Logistics coming later, too. My goodness. Ooh, I'm fired up. All right. Okay. Max, let's get us caught up on whatever's going on here.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, we're not going to spend any time on it, but it's Oklahoma A&M right now, and Godine is 3 of 4 from 3. He's doing it again. He's doing it again.
Man. He's doing it against the same team he did it against last time.
Doing it again.
Yep. Oh. Unfortunately, no one else can score in that game.
Wow.
Unreal.
All right. Max, what do we get caught up in here?
Yep. We got a few more super chats from I didn't check this in a while.
Yeah, sorry. Let's hop on those.
Thank you again, Quinn.
Okay. We've got
one from Quinn.
We've got this. We didn't get to this $5. Did we go Big Blue to the pumpkin?
From Santa Claus. All right. So
Thanks,
Santa Claus weighing in. All right.
Thank you.
I think it's Santa Claus.
No, that's Santa. I've seen Santa, and that looks like him. Trust me, that's Santa Claus.
I met him before.
Yeah. Let's pull this one up. Okay, $4.99 again. He wants me to say 8-time champs. Okay, it's all you want. All right, I said it. Quinn's going to give us $49.99 with the reminder that Auburn is everyone's daddy. Again, it's not coming from me. It's coming from Quinn. Mother Carol just gifted 10 memberships, so 10 lucky people are headed in to watch the watch along on Saturday, and more content. So, we appreciate Mother Carol handing out 10 gifted memberships. Hopefully, you got it. I know everybody's still trying to get Skylar this membership. This is the longest running theme in the history of the show. Gosh. I don't know what's happening. Like, she's got to get it at some point, right? Like, I don't know. So we've given out our, I think, gifted ones for the month. So, anyways, all right. What else we want to talk about?
Do we want to hop to?
I mean,
just for a little bit.
Quickly just mention Georgia, South Carolina, but we know why everyone in the chat is here. They're here to talk about Kentucky, Tennessee. So, I think we should probably just continue to give the people what they want. But let's quickly touch on Georgia, South Carolina. Don't leave, because remember, we got more stuff to come. We might even hand out some awards or something, maybe. We might do something fun.
I like that.
Or we might sit here and talk about bracket bits again. I could do that for an hour. But Georgia, South Carolina. Chris, would you like to weigh in on South Carolina, the team you voted 16th in the power rankings this week, losing a game on the road here against the Georgia Bulldogs? Good, not great, your words.
Yes, I gathered a lot from the 90 seconds in which I watched that game. Here's what I gathered. South Carolina had trouble scoring again. South Carolina's now lost 8 in a row. Paris looked frustrated, and Georgia got a win it really needed. There's my expert analysis on that one.
Wow.
That's why you guys are here.
Very succinct. All right. Max, your analysis on this game.
Yeah.
Well, going into it in the preview, I said this was going to be one of the better clashes of the front courts. And unlike some other, I don't know what the right word is, maybe schmuck would be a good word to call a person that didn't watch this game intently. I, on the other hand, had my eyes peeled to multiple screens at one time. And Asa Newell was just putting on a show. He was just putting out footwork, blocks, rebounds. It was probably as good as a game as I've seen him play. And they hit their threes. I don't think I've came on here once and said Georgia hit their threes tonight. Well, guess what they did? They shot 46.7%, 7 of 15. Didn't shoot a lot. Didn't need to shoot a lot.
Perfect.
Got the job done.
Yeah.
Max, when I did watch, I was looking to see who had CMB, and it was Dylan James when I was watching, who played more minutes tonight than he usually does.
Godfrey also.
Okay. Yeah, Godfrey did have him early. I did see that.
Well, we watch every game here. That is what we try to do. Some are easier to get through than others. But that was the story of this game, was Georgia shooting an efficient percentage from three. And I think we laugh, but like they don't need to shoot a lot of threes. And they only shot 15 here. They didn't need to go there. And yeah, I think about like those three guys, Newell, Demary, Laffew. Like, I still look at those guys and I'm like, man, any given night, you see one of those guys who can go off and just kind of give this team a big boost. And, of course, they all had good games tonight. But, yeah, like, my thoughts. I go back and forth on Georgia. They played a tough schedule. Let's call it what it is. They have one bad loss, right? That's at Arkansas. But you're going against a desperate Arkansas team. So, like, maybe you can discount that a little bit. And I've probably been a little too harsh on Georgia at times. But coming off a 30-point loss against Florida, that's what you want to see. Take care of business against a team that just has not been able to find a win yet in SEC play. So I thought Georgia came out, did what they needed to do, never let South Carolina get a lead. And we always say in those kind of games where you have a team like South Carolina who's desperate, don't let them hang around long enough to where they're just going to beat you. It's like in the final minute, all of a sudden everything goes their way, they beat them. So I thought that was important for Georgia, just to kind of keep that distance in this game, never really let South Carolina be a factor to make this an upset or anything like that. So those are the kind that you feel pretty good about, I think, coming out of it, just knowing, again, you're coming off a 30-point loss. You're trying to get a little bit of a pick-me-up, and this is what Georgia needed coming out of this one. Because, too, don't forget, the Dogs got to go to Alabama on Saturday. So,
yeah, Max and I, we said if they drop this one tonight, going to be an uphill battle to get to the NCAA tournament. Win it, I'd give them a 50-50 shot. So they took care of business. What is Blake clapping about?
I don't know.
I'll tell you who else is taking care of business. Are you ready for who else is taking care of business? Kentucky
I can't imagine.
Fans, prepare yourself, because we always have special guests here on the stream.
Oh.
And we've invited a special guest. Kentucky fans wanted to hear from him again. They said, bring him back. And so we brought him back. Who is it? It's the intern.
I'm back, guys, with an upgraded microphone.
Oh,
He's
nice.
back with an upgraded microphone. Look at this. Intern Matthew is back. He's got a better setup. He did this because, you know what? Matthew told me. He said, my family's over there picking on me when he came on the stream last time, saying we got to get you an updated setup. And look at this man. He's back. The Cats. Matthew's Cats, which he proudly represents as a student at Kentucky, go on the road and get the win.
Huge win. Wasn't expecting much, down our point guard, but everybody stepped up. I think we finally got to see Brea and Robinson click at the same time, like you guys were talking about, and a huge win. Always good to win in Knoxville.
Look at this. Mother Carol's already trying to get him to put him to work, like trying to get him to clear the voicemail. We'll do that at some point, Mother Carol. But Chris and Max, you can talk to the special guest here.
Matthew, thoughts on the SEC's now leading three-point shooter, Mr. Almonor, goes by Ansley to those who know him. Thoughts?
Man, sometimes I think it's Carmelo Anthony out there. I get glimpses when he's hitting that quick three. It's money. It's got to the point where when he puts it up, I think it's going in.
Were you surprised Kentucky handled the point position as well as it did tonight, at least until late in the game?
Yeah, I like what I saw from Robinson again. It was really reminded me of the Gonzaga game in the second half when he kind of handled the ball well and took over the point. He didn't have the assist numbers that he had in that Gonzaga game, but I thought he handled the ball pressure well, and I was nervous about that.
I'm sorry. Like the chat's the best because Matthew comes on here, and what is Matt focused on? He's saying there's not enough room on the screen for two mustaches that look that amazing. Like we got to get you two photoshopped onto some kind of like 70s or 80s rock band.
I had to challenge the best mustache on the show. I had to.
Yeah. Come on, Matthew. You're still the intern. Matthew, Max Barr here. But
I've got to know whose jerseys are we repping on the wall there.
Well, behind me, got the Juan Soto jersey. That's for you, Chris.
Okay. Oh no, that's right. I forget your man. You went quickly on that.
Yeah, I had it ordered probably the first day he signed with us. So,
Man.
And then more importantly, over here, I don't know if you can see the picture as well. This is my favorite player all time, Patrick Sparks.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's a deep cut for Kentucky fans, but love me some Patrick Sparks.
Are you from Bowling Green?
No, I'm from Boyle County, but
Okay.
that was the first team I remember watching was him, Rondo, Joe Crawford, or Mel Bradley. That was probably my favorite team.
Yep.
Hey, everyone picking on Matthew for the loudness of the mic, okay? You know what? It's a new mic. He'll get it figured out, all right? Come on.
A little bit better.
If these guys aren't
easy on the
technical issues,
I was going to say, please.
they must be new here.
How many technical issues do we have on a daily basis?
We've actually been pretty good lately.
We have.
Actually, we've been better.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, you're the best. Your 2 minutes of fame. We try to give you anytime Kentucky gets a win.
Great
Perhaps
talking to you
you'll be back
guys, and
on Saturday
go Cats.
for another one. All right, there you go.
Till next time, Matthew.
Emoji claps in the chat for intern Matthew.
Intern
back
Matt.
again.
Intern Matt is Intern Matt going to be in Nashville for the tournament?
I don't know, Chris. So
Everyone
I'm
who's
just
anyone
kidding.
is going to be
I know
at
we're
the
not
tournament.
picking on him. We're trying to help the intern. Trust me, I get it. You people are very helpful in the chat. You really are. Matt loves Matt. We know that. So there you go. All right. What else we want to talk about here?
A&M and Oklahoma just went to halftime. A&M is absolutely blowing the doors off of Oklahoma. They're up 31-30. So nothing new there.
Yeah. Nothing new. Yeah, this is an interesting game. But I think this is, hold on. We got more super chats. Hold on. All right. Let's get back to the super chats. Quinn's going to go $49.99 again on the super chat.
Quinn's on fire.
Quinn's on fire tonight.
Goodness.
It says Auburn broke Tennessee on Saturday. You're welcome, Kentucky. So some people are thinking me for the pick. Quinn's thinking you should be thinking Auburn. So there you go. But there you have it.
Okay, let's circle back to Cats Falls here. Cats Falls. What did we miss? Did we miss anything? We did talk about it for about a half hour. Fire away some questions. Fire away some questions.
Yeah, you guys in the chat, you direct this thing. So, and as noted here, hit the like button if you're in here watching. Do that. And yeah, I mean, I think we said this was going to be a physical game, and we talked about it. What was some of the knocks on Kentucky to this point? People were bringing it up in the chat this morning. They brought it up in other chats, right? It's the physicality. Just being able to handle those kind of games. We've seen them struggle against physical teams defensively, right? So I thought it was important.
You're dropping a bomb here. Butler potentially out the rest of the season, according to Pope. What?
Holy smokes.
I haven't had time to check the post-game comments, but
what did he do to his shoulder?
Can we get some
Don't tell Chris that.
Don't do that. Some scoop?
Hey, that wasn't me.
Don't do that, folks. Don't tell Chris. Chris is going to have this man. Who knows?
Well, Blake, while you...
I got it. I'll look it up.
Try to look that up. I did. I like going back and looking at the ESPN win probability graph as the game goes on. At halftime, when it was 33-30, what do you think Tennessee's win percentage was?
70?
Well, pretty close. 75.7. And then at the 17 mark, Ansley Almonor made a 3 to go up 38-35. And from then on, Kentucky was favored to win the entire game.
All right, hold on. I'm listening to Pope here. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Pope said, Billy says, Bill says, if we get him back. He put the if in there? Oh man.
And we haven't had a Kirk Risa update in a while.
Yeah.
I think there was some improvement a couple of weeks ago, but that's the last I remember hearing. By the way, UCF and Kansas, a 1-point game with 2 seconds left. I don't have it on.
Wow.
But Kansas suddenly can't protect the home court.
Oh, are they going to lose?
Well, no, they're up 1. Let me see who's got the ball. I think Kansas just got fouled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Kansas is the line for.
Yeah, now we have a few different reports here that it's an if or when we get him back, which does not sound very encouraging.
Yeah, I just listened to what he said. He did say that. He just kind of said he was the eternal optimist, and he also kind of played it off like he kept looking at the trainer to see if Butler was available as the game was going on, like kind of as a joke. But it's not exactly the most clear. He just says there's multiple factors in the injury. But yeah, he did say if and when we get it back, we're going to be elated. So I don't, I'm not going to read too much into that necessarily. But sure. I mean, but did he not also say that we thought Andrew Carr would be out another month or something? And
yep.
Well, so I mean, I'm not ready to go there just yet. But he didn't rule him out for the season.
Has any team outside of maybe Arkansas had more injuries than Kentucky this year of significance?
I think Alabama, just like minutes wise.
Yeah, maybe. The right cell going down for the year early was a big one. They lost Youngblood for 9 games.
Yeah, but I mean, with the shoulder, it sounds like maybe it's something where because that's when you can get into like labrum and you can get into tears and like we could do surgery, but it could only you could play through it, but you might make it worse. That would need surgery or something like that's what my head's thinking when he says like there's a few different factors that go into it. I think shoulders can get tricky, but we could speculate all we want.
Yeah, it's a pretty vague response. So like I don't want to sit here and just immediately go to he's out for the season. So yeah.
So let's just say he is, for argument's sake. What do you do at the point? You just do what you did tonight, split it up that way?
I think Jaxson has proven that he can kind of be that main guy that steps in and then, Oweh if he needs to, or maybe you can try to get some minutes out of the freshman, whichever one you want. But I would think like 75, 80% of that point guard work goes to. But also, I mean, the way that they play offense, it's like you can kind of just, if you can just get it up the floor, other guys can initiate it. Williams can initiate it at the top. They can do other things. So, by
the way, Brandon Garrison went live on, I guess, Instagram maybe after the game.
No way.
And my brother's just over here dancing. So this guy's going to be fine. Like I'm telling you right now, he's going to be okay. All right. So he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I want to see him. I want to see him play. And also, we had a few different Cats fans, I think, saying they're real glad Zeeks was all right, because that was a big scare there. You heard the broadcast starting to mention ACLs and stuff, and it's like, oh no, please don't have this happen to Zeeks. And then he obviously comes back, but glad he's all right. What else?
Donovan just keeps saying we need.
Yeah,
we need mods. I mean, you guys. Here's the problem: if we turn the moderation over to you guys, I know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to say something and make a joke about your team, and you're going to ban them. And that's just come on, okay? It's a little trash talk, doesn't hurt anything. Now, if you get out of control, then we know what we have to do here. we've got the Spam Man. Remember? We revealed the Spam Man on the last show. The Spam Man's always watching. Okay? So, that's all. That's all. So, I mean, you guys are actually pretty calm for tonight's chat, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So, the Auburn-Tennessee chat was not calm, but this one's surprisingly calm tonight. So,
That one a little hostile.
yeah, Donovan and Big Baller Brett again they're gonna ban each other, and that's gonna be how it works. So, Bill lets us know that Spam Man was his nickname in high school, so that's good to know from Bill. But there you have it. All right.
Okay,
think
so
we're almost-
here's some. Yeah, we're almost. But here's a cool little stat. Kentucky's Ken Palm defensive efficiency on the season was ranked 87th going into tonight's game. It's been updated. What do you think it is?
Chris
82.
knows better than me.
77.
Hmm.
Jumped up 10 spots. I mean, you put together a few more nice defensive games, and they have the number 3 offense in the nation, and you get that thing up there. You're comparing to an Alabama team that was the number 2 offense in the nation last year with the 111th defense. So, if you want to talk about a formula of elite offense to get you to the Final Four, the stats are there.
You know what, Max? I'm glad you said that because there's somebody else who can get you to the Final Four, and you know who that is? Boy, I know who it is. It's Sanders Logistics. They can get you to San Antonio quicker than anybody. You know why? Because Sanders Logistics, formerly known as Ted R. Sanders Moving, is a leader among moving companies in Nashville, Tennessee, and the surrounding area. You tell them you want to move to the Final Four, they'll move you to the Final Four. Now, I don't know if you can legally take up residence at the Final Four right now, but if you want to move there and just say, hey, I've decided to move and I'm just going to stay at the Final Four, you can do that, perhaps, because their team of professional movers are focused on delivering efficient, hassle-free moving at an affordable price. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Sanders Logistics has you covered. Visit them at tedrsandersmoving.com.
We have a special update, special programming update. Intern Matt will be in attendance for the SEC tournament, along with the rest of the SC16 crew.
Is he going to be signing autographs? Like, he's an intern, but can we charge for autographs for the intern? I think we can charge. I think we can definitely charge for sure, right? So I think we can charge for the intern. So
yes,
there you have it. The intern line will be longer than anyone.
Who was it that said they think the win in the SEC tournament is going to be harder than winning in the Natty? Someone said it. Was it Billis? The Billustrator?
Well, you know what else he said, though, too? I think he said he hopes, and I don't know if I'm going to attribute this to him, but somebody said it this week on a big interview, was he hopes also that the winner of the SEC tournament doesn't, get so much taken out of them that they go and lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And I think about that all the time. I'm like, you never know. You never know. I hate how it works these days with the way this tournament, and we've learned, the committee just does not, the value on the SEC tournament is just not very high. And so, I just think it's,
I wish we could turn on a no injury mode like you can in Madden.
I know, right? I know. So,
and you could have a team this year that is NCAA tournament level or borderline, and they're going to have to win 5 in 5 days to win it. So under that circumstance, I could see that being an issue.
And is the seeding really going to change for any of these SEC teams at the top?
It hasn't in the past.
Not at all. But especially this year because everybody's, a top whatever type seed, right? So I think it's tough.
Well, you never. That's what the last couple of committees have done. Maybe this year's takes a different approach, but the last 2 to 3 just have not given it any value whatsoever. Yeah. Unless maybe you win the tournament, you might move up a line or 2 there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's that's the only thing
Sam
that worries me
is,
about the SEC tournament.
Sam's got his mind.
I think
He's
Sam is
already got
done
his
with Rick
expectations.
Barnes.
He's already got his expectations lowered to the NIT.
Yeah. Well,
Sam,
maybe.
I don't think you're going to be in the NIT.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think he cares what we have to say about that.
Okay. Quinn 49.99 again on the super chat.
Quinn,
He's gonna get us a couple
goodness, thank you.
alcoholic beverages since he'll also be there. Well, Quinn, listen, pal.
Hey,
You keep sending the super chats. Whatever. So, how about this story from Mother Carol?
whoa.
First and only SEC tournament was 40 years ago. Kentucky lost first round. I was in the GA section, the free tickets. Became a Georgia fan for the tournament. Incredible. So, incredible. So there you go. All right.
Okay.
I think we're done here.
We need to
We've
get
talked
Mother
a lot
Carol
about this
to
game.
the SEC tournament.
Yeah. Hey, I really hope that we get those same spots again to get our TV time.
Right. We were all over TV last year.
You know who to bribe to get that. So,
Yep.
yeah. All right. We're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow morning to talk about something. Well, we got to talk about A&M, Oklahoma. What else we got to talk about? We got a lot of other stuff to talk about. Tomorrow night's games.
Bracketology, seating.
3 games.
Weekend,
We'll bring up some bracketology tomorrow.
I think
Yep.
we're doing is Thursday the day we're doing football, Blake?
I think so.
Yeah. And then we've got a couple of SEC baseball coach interviews lined up. So we have actually got a bunch of those lined up.
We do have a lot of those lined
week
up.
and a half.
We have a lot of those lined up. So
We've done
we
2.
should do.
We've done Nick Mingione. So Kentucky fans, if you've not seen that one, check that one out.
Yep, you can check that out.
And we've done Paul Maneri and Jay Johnson. Those are the ones that we've got done and uploaded.
Donnie wants to know mid-season awards. I have no idea. Have we done those?
We're close. No, we haven't. But I mean, midpoint would be what, about next week? I guess it would be this weekend.
Like that.
It would
may
be
do
now,
like that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of would be
Like right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So, we'll see.
We
All
shall
right.
see.
There you go.
Blake's falling asleep.
No, I'm not. I'm just
I just say that when I'm falling asleep.
making sure we
Throw it
got
on
to
someone
everything.
else.
But yeah, we're waiting on A&M and Oklahoma, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So, Quinn, another super chat.
Goodness.
Oh my God.
$50. I want to win everything this year and show the rest of the. Come on, Quinn. No name calling. All right. Come on, Quinn. We appreciate the super chats. All right, we're out of here.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. Congratulations to Kentucky and Georgia on big wins tonight. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your super chats, for your gifted memberships, for all the cool stuff you guys do. We have the best audience you can have. Love you guys. Glad we can be here for you. And hope to see a lot of you, honestly, in Nashville at the SEC tournament, where we will be on press row. For Max Barr and Blake Lovell, I'm your host, Chris Lee. You've been watching Southeastern 16's basketball content. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great night.